when you go to the auction, be prepared to be nervous. Make sure you have a good sheet of paper with your max bids. All right. So have your max bid so that you don't go over that max bid. It's easy to get caught up, and it can be very, very tough if you're in a bidding war and somebody beats you by like $100. So have that max bid and stick to it, because you don't know how high the other person is willing to bid. The thing is with this business, it's not a matter of if you'll get a deal. It's a matter of when. You just need to stick to it. You just need to be consistent. And that's one of the hardest things with the internet these days, is it's a billion miles wide and a half an inch deep. Like, it's a very narrow band, and people just spend all their time just not becoming an expert and specializing in one thing. So make the decision now that you're going to do this business, that you're going to buckle down, that you're going to learn the basics. And once again, this thing is free, but it's literally has everything you need to get started. And I used to sell it, but I put it together just to help you out to get going and build this community, because I know it can be expensive to get good information, so I want to give that stuff away. So have your max bids, prepare for emotions to get high. From there, the seventh or sixth, I lost track. Maybe we'll have 7, maybe we'll have 6. Might have some bonuses here. Is have that exit strategy in mind before you buy. So before you even make that bid, make sure you know what you're going to do with that property. What's your exit plan, right? Is it a weird piece of land? Is it a former auto body shop? Is it, know your exit bid. Houses and land are pretty simple. The land, you can flip it. House, you can fix it up or tear it down and, build a hotel or whatever you want to do. So have that exit plan in mind when you go. And, I'd say one of the last things that I learned is you're going to go through an emotional roller coaster in the real estate business, and that's good because it gets you going, it gives you that carrot to go off of. But one thing that I made the mistake of a lot is like spending hypothetical profits in my head before I made the money. Like, oh, if I get this deal and I make this money, and then I'm gonna, buy this dirt bike or this snowmobile or do XYZ, and it never happened. So the nice thing about the liens and deeds is it's pretty quick. The cycle of emotion can happen pretty quick. Go to the sale, either you get it or you don't. If you're going to do like wholesaling or fixes and flips, if you get a property under contract and you're going to wholesale it and then it falls apart the day of the sale, maybe you had a juicy wholesale of 20, 30 grand and then it falls apart. That can be very annoying.